At Capella University, learning online doesn't mean learning alone. You'll get support from people who care about your success, like your enrollment specialist who gets to know you and the goals you'd like to achieve. You'll also get a designated academic coach who's with you throughout your entire program. Plus, career coaches are available to help you navigate your professional goals. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Drinking and driving will change your whole world. The next time you're out with friends, consider what would happen if you got pulled over after drinking, like the legal fees or the time in court or a DUI on your record. Your decision to drink and drive could change someone else's world too if you hurt or even kill them in a crash. Instead, what if a decision to call a sober ride changed your world for the better? Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
Very disappointing the way we came out. Obviously, got to be better in a lot of areas to give ourselves a chance to win games. So, got to get back, clean it up this week, and get ready to go for Jacksonville at home.
Shane, how do you explain that defensive performance given the stakes of this game?
Yeah, we're going to be better. That starts with me. Got to be better. Bottom line, we can't give up that many yards. They scored a lot of points. Went up and down the field. We got to get that cleaned up in a hurry. Our defense played great last week, and then this week, got to be better. It starts with me. Bottom line.
Shane, Lou talked a lot about not wanting to have linebackers in coverage, wanting to have defensive backs. Feels like, I know you had injuries in corner, but it feels like there's been a lot of linebackers in coverage, maybe not as much time. Do you know what's gone into that? Is it just the injuries in corner?
Yeah, I think Lou goes through his matchups every week and looks at certain things that he feels gives us the best chance. And that's how we go from there with the personnel stuff.
Do you feel like the defensive plan was sound tonight, or are there any second guesses about that?
Well, I think give credit to San Francisco. They did a good job, but yeah, we got to be better. Bottom line is we got to be better. We got to clean those things up, coverage, rush, all the stuff. It all ties in together.
It's way more complicated than this, but how does the defense go into Seattle last week, hold them out of the end zone, and then this week couldn't get a stop when you needed one the whole game?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, obviously, like I said, things got to get cleaned up. It's the National Football League, and we got to be at our A game every week. You can't have 1 week where it's this and it's that. You got to come out ready to play, every single week.
What do you think of the way Phillip performed in the second game?
I thought he played really good. I think he just had the one play at the end, but I thought he was on fire all game. He managed the offense at the line of scrimmage, did some no-huddle stuff with them, getting us down to the right place, threw it to the right spots every time. Obviously, just had the one play there at the end, but overall, I think he was really solid.
The run game, I think JT had 2.9 yards per carry there in the game. I know you guys are missing a bunch of offensive linemen. Is it just that offensive lineman injury starting to catch up with you guys, or what did you see?
No, I think, obviously credit to San Francisco and what they did defensively with some of the runs. Obviously, we threw it there a little bit early in the no-huddle, getting, the points there, and felt good about that. Felt was operating at a high level, and so that's just kind of what went into it.
Why do you think the edge rush has struggled the last month or so?
We got to look into that. Obviously, we got to win one-on-one matchups as we get going. Every game, that's it. This game's about one-on-ones and winning the game within the game, and keep working those, pass rush stuff in practice so they can come to life, on Sundays and Monday nights.
You're in a tough spot at corner, obviously, but just what's your assessment there with what you got out there?
Yeah, I think those guys are battling like crazy. They're right there. They're right there. We just got to get the ball out. You know what I mean? They're right there and covered. We got to get the ball out. Don't get the PBUs.
Team lost 5 last 6 or 5 in a row. Sorry, 6 of the last 7. What do you tell them when you know it's not over, but it looks good right now?
Yeah, I told those guys in there, like, shoot, we signed up for 17 of these things, and we got a division opponent, and we're not out of this thing until they tell us we're done. We're freaking fighting like crazy. So we're going to come back in this week, get ready to work, and be ready to go for Jacksonville at home.
Shane, you've been here for 3 years. Why do you think your team, at least up until this point, hasn't been able to win some of these games later in the season?
Something I got to look at. Obviously, we got to find ways to win, especially in November and December. That's where you win games, and that's where you make the playoffs. So we got to do a better job, and I have to do a better job.
Just how do you sum up just where you were just a month and a half ago to now? I mean, just
like this?
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, this league will throw you curveballs and sideways punches, and you've got to freaking battle like crazy, and you're going to hit adversity in this league, and you got to stay steady through it all. I mean, that's what it is. You got to keep fighting like crazy no matter what happens, and you got to finish strong no matter what the circumstances are. You go from there.
Considering the injuries you all had at cornerback, is there any consideration to looking at a guy like Jalen Jones more?
Yeah, I think obviously he comes in and has some matchups and third down coverage and all those things, but we look at those week to week for sure. All right. Okay, thanks, guys.
Is it time to reimagine your future? The right business skills may make a difference in your career. At Capella University, we offer a relevant education that's designed to focus on what you need to know in the business world. We'll teach professional skills to help you pursue your goals, like business management, strategic planning, and effective communication. And you can apply these skills right away. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
Hi, I'm Andy Staples from Andy and Ari on 3, and another five-star quarterback just entered the transfer portal. That's what college football is now, a nonstop adventure, and we cover it every day at Andy and Ari on 3, whether it's the transfer portal, the college football playoff, the coaching carousel, you name it, and guess what? It doesn't stop even when the season ends. So join us every day, Monday through Friday. New episodes drop at 3 p.m. wherever you get your podcasts.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening. Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday.